Hempstead is a city in Waller County, Texas, United States, part of the Houston, Woodlands, Sugar Land metropolitan area. It is the county seat of Waller County. Location: the community, located at the junctions of U.S. Highway 290, Texas State Highway 6, and Texas State Highway 159, is around 50 miles northwest of downtown Houston. The population was 4,691 at the 2000 census. History: on December 29, 1856, Dr. Richard Rogers Peebles and James W. McDade organized the Hempstead Town Company to sell lots in the newly established community of Hempstead, which was located at the projected terminus of Houston and Texas Central Railway. Peebles named Hempstead after Dr. G.S. B. Hempstead, Peebles' brother-in-law. Peebles and Mary Ann Grosser Peebles, his wife, contributed 2,000 acres of the estate of Jared E. Grosser, Jr., for the community. On June 29, 1858, the Houston and Texas Central Railway was extended to Hempstead, causing the community to become a distribution center between the Gulf Coast and the interior of Texas. On November 10 of that year, Hempstead incorporated the Washington County Railroad, which ran from Hempstead to Brenham, enhanced the city upon its completion. Hempstead, Texas. In the Civil War, Camp Grosser CSA was established in 1862 on Leendo Plantation on the eastern bank of Clear Creek as a camp of instruction for Confederate infantry recruits. Originally named Camp Leendo, the name was changed to honor Leonard Waller Grosser, the owner of Leendo Plantation, and owner of over 100 slaves. A contract to construct the barracks at Camp Grosser was let in February 1862. Numerous Confederate infantry regiments were organized, trained, and equipped at Camp Grosser. The camp was abandoned in the spring of 1862 due to its sickly location. Numerous Confederate soldiers fell sick at Camp Grosser and at nearby Camp Hebert and died. In June 1863, Camp Grosser was reopened as a prison camp for Union prisoners captured in the battles of Galveston and Sabine Pass I. The Union prisoners of war taken at the Battle of Sabine Pass II were also sent to Camp Grosser. 427 Union prisoners were held at Camp Grosser in 1863 and 21 died. Camp Grosser was reopened in May 1864 for 148 Union prisoners captured at Calcasieu Pass. About 40 soldiers from the 1st Texas U.S. Cavalry were sent to Camp Grosser in June 1864, and 506 more Union prisoners were transferred to Camp Grosser from Camp Ford in August 1864. Yellow fever and other terrible diseases prevailed on the prisoners. They were moved to Camp Gillespie near Belleville in late September 1864 and then to Camp Felder, 6 miles north of Chapel Hill, Texas. 221 prisoners died or are missing from Camps Grosser, Gillespie, and Felder in 1864. 444 were paroled in December 1864. About 10,000 Confederate soldiers were ordered to Hempstead in the spring of 1865. They were waiting for Confederate President Jefferson Davis to arrive to make the last stand of the Confederacy. Davis was captured in Georgia and Confederate General Kirby Smith surrendered the Department of the Trans-Mississippi in May 1865. All Confederate forces in Hempstead and all other CS posts in Texas simply went home. After the war, Marge, Gen. George A. Custer arrived in August 1865 with a division of volunteer U.S. cavalry. The division camped near Leendo Plantation for about 2 months before moving to Austin or were mustered out of the service. In addition, the 29th Illinois Volunteer Infantry Regiment occupied the town in the fall of 1865 until it was mustered out of the U.S. service on November November 6, 1865. In 1867, Companies A and B of the 17th U.S. Infantry were stationed at Hempstead. In the fall of that year, a terrible yellow fever epidemic devastated the civilian population of Hempstead, and nearly 40 soldiers of the 17th U.S. Infantry perished as well. 1,863 to 427 21 died, 2 escaped. 1,864 to 682 147 died, 28 missing, 18 escaped, 13 deserted to the enemy, 14 stayed as unknown. Totals: 1,109 held, 168 died, 28 missing, 20 escaped, 13 deserted to the enemy, 14 stayed as unknown. At least 225 Confederate soldiers died or are missing from in and around Hempstead, Texas during the Civil War. Most of the U.S. and CS soldiers who died in and around Hempstead, Texas during the Civil War are still buried in the area. They are buried in 3 primary locations in and around Camp Grocer and west of town on the old McDade Plantation Cemetery on East and Branch Road near Salisbury Road. There is a Texas State Historical marker there entitled Union Army POW Cemetery, but there are numerous U.S. Navy POWs buried there along with numerous Confederate soldiers who died in the hospitals in downtown Hempstead. Hempstead is famous for its watermelon crop, and until the 1940s, the town was the top shipper of watermelons in the United States. Billy D'Ario was known as the Watermelon King and Angelina D'Ario was known as the Watermelon Queen. Both resided in Hempstead, Texas. The town holds an annual watermelon festival in July. The town has grown in recent years because of its relative closeness to Houston along U.S. Highway 290. The current economy is based on county government, shipping, and a small but growing industrial base. However, the closing of a large auto dealership in 2009 hurt the community's economy and correlated with the drop in the town's population. The town has, however, rebounded in its population since 2010. One of the town's residents was Lily E. Drennan, who in 1929 became the first woman to hold a commercial driver's license in Texas. She ran a regional hauling company called the Drennan Truck Line while maintaining an excellent driving record. Drennan received periodical attention in national newspapers and radio broadcasts. Another notable Hempstead resident is R.L. Bucker, who along with his 2 sons, runs the privately owned 2-feet narrow-gauge Hempstead and Amp Northern Railroad on his property. Carlton C. Colmenares, another famous resident, is currently teaching at Seven Lakes High School in Katy, Texas, after retiring from the United States Air Force and conducting research on soil erosion for Princeton University in Papua New Guinea. He is also a member of Texans Against Vegetarians. Geography. Hempstead is located at 30.09139 degrees north, 96.08139 degrees west, 30.09139 minus 96.08139. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 5.0 square miles, of which 5.0 square miles of it is land and 0.04 square miles of it is covered by water. Demographics. As of the census of 2010, 5,770 people, 2,010 households, and 1,360 families resided in the city. The population density was 1,040.8 people per square mile. The 2,220 housing units averaged 400.7 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 36.8% white, 38.9% African American, 1.4% Native American, 0.6% Asian, 0.1% Pacific Islander, 20.2% from other races, and 2.2% from two or more races. Hispanics or Latinos of any race were 37.4% of the population. Of the 2010 households, 36.4% had children under the age of 18 living with them. 37.7% were married couples living together. 22.8% had a female householder with no husband present, and 32.3% were not families. About 25.5% of all households were made up of individuals, and 9.2% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.81 and the average family size was 3.42. In the city, the population was distributed as 30.6% under the age of 18, 14.7% from 18 to 24, 25.3% from 25 to 44, 20.1% from 45 to 64, and 9.3% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 27.9 years. For every 100 females, there were 95 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 90.4 males. The median income for a household in the city was $35,859. In 2008 to 2012, the per capita income for the city was $15,888. About 25.4% of the population was below the poverty line. Economy. Until February 2009, the Lawrence Marshall car dealership was Hempstead's largest employer. The sudden closure of the dealership led the city to reconsider capital projects such as sewer upgrades and park beautification. Government and infrastructure. Hempstead is the county seat of Waller County. The United States Postal Service Hempstead Post Office is located at 901 12th Street. Education. The city of Hempstead is served by the Hempstead Independent School District. The one private Christian school in Hempstead is the Community Christian Academy. The grades of study offered are K through 5th grade. Climate. The climate in this area is characterized by hot, humid summers and generally mild to cool winters. According to the Köppen climate classification system, Hempstead has a humid subtropical climate, CFA on climate maps.